police officers standing around, probably 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe more, but that's just who I could see. They were, by the way, they were parked out in the road. They weren't even parked all the way on the shoulder. So it's a 2-lane road, and people were having to stop because you couldn't drive 2 cars down the road because the state police were all parked haphazardly halfway in the road. You see this all the time. It's almost like it's their enjoyment to block traffic and train you, the slave, that they can do whatever they want. But I walk up politely, and I'm about 30 yards away, and they say, "What do you do? You know, what do you want?" And this state police officer starts walking over to me, and he literally was about as tall as Yosemite Sam. Folks, I'm 5'10". I'm not into how tall you are, how big you are, but there is that Napoleonic complex, and the feds have admitted they've written handbooks to hire police now with only under 100 IQ, and they like to hire short ones. This is on record, who have a Napoleonic complex. You'll notice most of the commanders now are barely pushing 5 feet because they got something to prove. And this guy who literally looked like Yosemite Sam, I mean, he was so little, I thought he was a munchkin because I'm not big, and he came up to my chest. I mean, I had like a foot on him. Yosemite Sam comes up, and I said, "How you doing?" And he said, "Who are you?" Like a drill instructor. "Who are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm Alex Jones." He didn't know who I was. I said, "I'm Alex Jones." And I was still being nice. And I said, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Is this a checkpoint?" And he goes, "None of your business. Get out of here." Just pointed his finger at me and showed his teeth. I mean, how dare a scumbag citizen think this is a free country? You don't talk to a king, a savior, a lord. He said, "Get in your car and get out of here." And I said, "Well, you're not being very nice." And I said, "I just walked over here and politely asked you what you're doing." And he said, "None of your business." I said, "Get out of here." And he said, "You're parked illegally." And I looked back and knew I wasn't. But here he was. This is tyranny, the nature of tyranny. And he was looking like I was about to get scared. And I said, "Why don't you take me to jail and show me I'm your slave?" And then he kind of went, starts putting his hand on his gun. I said, get out of here. Get out of here. And more of the state police start coming over, and some of them are smiling and looking. Obviously, some of them knew who I was. And I said, "I'm going to go." But I said, "This is why America's dying and falling apart. Because you're on a power trip." And I said, "I knew when I came over here you were going to treat me like this. And I was as polite as I could be to you. But I said, you listen and you tune into this radio frequency, the local station we're on. I said, you tune in 1 hour from now." And I got in my car, and boy, they were there getting my license plate and reading it and smiling at me. They love their database. They love it. They love the control. No, it was so good. And then once I got out on Main 620, here came a sheriff's department car. I guess they'd called in, and they got right behind me and were following me. And I was trying to get my phone charged and finally got it working and called Jaron because I had a, in-car charger. Finally got it to boot up, and I said, "Jaron, who knows what's going to happen to me?" But they left me alone. But they followed me all the way down 620. All the way down 620. Just let me know, listen, you don't get uppity with us. It's like that movie Ants, where the grasshoppers are sitting around. They go, "We got all this food, boss. Why are we going back to fight with those ants? We don't need them to be our slaves." And he said, "Those puny little ants outnumber us 1,000 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, it's over for us." And so I'm talking to Jaron this morning. He goes, "Well, guess what happened to me?" He's taking some folks to the airport at 4 a.m. this morning. He pulls in to gas up, and he goes in to get a Gatorade, and this guy's trying to break into his car. He goes out and starts yelling at him, saying, "Stop." The guy starts trying to attack him. Jaron knocks him out, yells at him for about 3 minutes. Knocks him out after the guy swings him a couple times, and Jaron, they missed him. Thug missed him, and then Jaron knocked him out, punched him in the nose. And the police pull up a few minutes later when the guy's getting up off the ground. And the first few police show up, and then it's a female cop, and the guy gets up and starts charging her, so she pulls her taser out. He's clearly whacked out of his mind on drugs. And then another cop pulls up and goes, "Yeah, I heard you screaming and saw that going on." They were right by the access road. One cop saw it and just kept on driving because it wasn't an old lady he could pull over and make a little money off of. No, it was a guy being attacked in a parking lot at 5 a.m. after dropping friends off at the airport. So there you go. I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to Sergeant Baker. I forgot part of the story.
The economy is crumbling, debt soaring, and the possibility of World War III is increasing. I started SurvivalistSeeds.com from my dining room table with a small bucket of seed and a single rotating banner ad on PrisonPlanet.com. 2 years later, we've sold over 40,000 pounds of heirloom seeds, becoming the largest bulk seed seller to the public. The majority of our customers are Alex Jones listeners. Now I'm offering 50 all-organic garden varieties, 10,000 heirloom seeds, a garden planner, and a CD teaching you how to save seeds so your children's children will always have healthy food. Don't wait until it's too late. I'm Big John Lipscomb, and my company is SurvivalistSeeds.com.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 Sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw of free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
What is a wind generator?
How can the wind produce power for a small cabin?
How can wind energy be stored and used during an emergency?
Can I assemble my own wind generator?
For answers to questions about wind power, visit windbluepower.com. Did you know the wind could provide your family with emergency power? It can with a wind generator from windbluepower.com. Learn how our amazing LightBreeze wind generator kits start charging a 12-volt battery and just 6 mile per hour wind. Or see the new Cyclone X2 dual kit featuring 2 wind generators on just 1 tower. And learn why schools and universities across the country utilize our products to teach about wind power and alternative energy at windbluepower.com. All kits qualify for a 30% IRS tax credit for residential energy efficient property. Enter coupon code RADIO for a 5% discount at windbluepower.com. That's windbluepower.com or call 800-976-0026. That's 800-976-0026.
Guys, order another round because we're staying here. Yeah. What was I thinking going back to Aunt Ivy? I mean, we just got here, and we have more than enough food to get us through the winter, right? Why go back?
But there was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him. Yeah, it was just one ant. One ant. Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant. Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this brain is a puny little ant.
Did that hurt? No. Well, how about this one? Are you kidding? How about this?
Dumps 1 million grains on them. Floods them.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those...
I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. Thomas Jefferson. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
And that's from A Bug's Life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. So, a puny little ant saw what appeared to be a checkpoint. I didn't know. They may have been doing something else. But it looked like other checkpoints I've seen. I politely park, walk over, wait for one of my kings, my lords, my owners, to walk over, and I politely say, "Hi, trooper, how you doing? What's going on out here?" "Who are you?" "Well, I'm Alex Jones." "Get in your car and get out of here." And just, he looked crazy. He's showing his teeth at me. "Get in your car and get out of here," pointing his finger at me. And I knew that was what was going to happen. I was hoping it wouldn't happen. I was hoping he'd be a good human being and a guardian of liberty, but he's just a midget on a power trip. A guy in a John Wayne outfit, who's no John Wayne, out there in his John Wayne costume. Yosemite Sam. Yeah, that'll be the new name of Sergeant Baker, is Yosemite Sam. Sergeant Yosemite Sam, state police officer who, I guess, writes tickets to old ladies all day and licks the boots of illegal aliens. You know, we know they let them go. And they run from the border when they get shot at by the Mexican troops and cartels. But, hey, wouldn't you if you had the American cows to milk? I'd forgotten that part of the story. Right before I turned to leave, as he was saying, "You get out of here right now, just enjoying that power. You slave, you don't ask me anything. You get out of here." I looked at his name tag, but his badge number was covered up. They always have some new little excuse or someone they're remembering to cover up the badge number, which is a violation of state law. It's the religion to break the law for these people. But they're the good guys. They get to do whatever they want. And I said, "So it's Trooper Baker." And he said, "It's Sergeant Baker. Now I said, get out of here. It's none of your business." And he was thinking, your only business is to pay my check and build up my ego when I pull your wife and kids over, boy. He didn't say that, but I remember driving down 37 4 or 5 years ago, going to Port Aransas to do some fishing with my wife and children. And my 2 children at the time, now I have 3, were asleep in the back, all belted in with their little blankets on them. And these 2 state police pull us over for going 5 miles over the speed limit. And they're saying, "We want in the back. We want to look and see if these seat belts are on right. These kids are in the seats right." And one had horrible breath, and the woman was on a power trip. They were all acting crazed like they were wolves chasing down a sheep. And I just said, "Look, you don't have any probable cause. My children are belted in. They're my children. I care about them a lot more than you do." I go, "You write me your ticket, and then you let me go back on my way." And they got all puffed up. But, I mean, and I told him, I looked him right in the face when he was getting in my face, and I said, "Go ahead and arrest me then, and show me I'm your slave. I don't care. You understand that? I don't care. I don't care. Okay? I'm a real American. You may be trained, and we've got the state federal training manuals, that the founding fathers are terrorists and America's bad and everything. Okay, fine. But the issue is, I'm done licking your boots. You work for a criminal government. The state's completely out of control, and you won't defend our borders, and all you're doing is out there revenue generating, and all over the country, state police, local police are announcing they won't respond to regular crime. They'll only respond to sucking our blood." And so, Sergeant Baker, out in Lakeway, Sergeant Yosemite Power Trippin' Sam.